Hi, everybody. My name is Matt Hames, and I'm the Associate Vice President for Digital and Social Strategy at 3 Enrollment Marketing. Today, I'm really excited for today's LinkedIn Live. I'm joined by Arthur. Arthur, can you just introduce yourself and tell everybody your name and the school where you work?
Absolutely. Good to see you, Matt. Hello, everyone. My name is Arthur Ortiz, and I work at the University of St. Thomas in Houston, Texas.
And so, before we start talking about the Institute for Higher Education, why don't you just tell everybody why you think a student should attend your school?
Yeah, I think thank you for asking that. And we're very proud of our university because we, in a lot of ways, provide the best of some of the traditional features of an education to where a lot of our students receive a well-rounded liberal arts education, but we really combine it with real-world experience as well. So we have incredible internship opportunities for students to learn life skills. Um, Employers for decades have been, it seems like decades now, have been telling college graduates, colleges, universities that their graduates have some strong technical knowledge,
Yeah.
but when they come into the workforce, they struggle a bit. So we try to help them with everything from communication skills to emotional intelligence to how to advocate for themselves. So all those things that will help them once they get into a work environment are some of the things that we focus on quite a bit.
Well, that's awesome. Thanks for sharing. Uh, I have a high school junior, so I always ask that question anyway because I'm really interested. Um, I appreciate you telling us all that. We're here today mostly to talk about the Institute for Higher Education, which is happening June 4th to 8th in Clearwater Beach, Florida. Now, we're really, I just want to get your perspective. What has been your experience at the Institute?
Yes, great. I've been fortunate to attend the first few years of the Institute, and I can tell you, having been in the enrollment world for over 20 years, that it was hard to find a conference to go to. And I say conference, even though the Institute is not a conference.
It's not a conference.
And that's the whole point, is that many of the other events that went on were just presentations, select a classroom to go to, and you'll hear on different topics. But the Institute is a blending of, in my opinion, a think tank, leaders from across the country that are seeing trends, talking about what's in the future, really sitting there, having an opportunity to do workshops and work
Yeah.
together. Also blended with a lot of opportunity to have those other learning engagements during the downtime. And it really does make for, you know, an experience that is unlike any other conference or something like a conference that I've ever experienced.
Right. So the sessions are designed for 8 o'clock in the morning until around 12:30, and then there's an opportunity to recharge, meet with mentors, and then come back in the afternoon for what we're calling beachside chats. So that inside that window where you have that opportunity to just talk with colleagues, can you talk a little bit about the mentorship that happens at the Institute?
Yeah, and what's interesting about the mentorship is it goes in all directions, right?
Yeah.
You think that you're talking to someone, who maybe hasn't been involved in enrollment management as much, but you learn just as much from them. That's where the rubber hits the road, because what you discuss in those sessions, then as folks kind of think about the situations, the problems they're solving on their own campus, then in those downtimes, those fireside chats, you really get in depth into it, and it can continue. I mean, folks stay and, during dinner and drinks later on, to where you can tell that people feel like, okay, I'm amongst people that understand, the circumstances that we're dealing with, and they're
Yeah.
problem solvers. And that helps a great deal, in my opinion.
Yeah, and this year, you've joined us for the first. You've been at the Institute for the first 2 years. This year, as you know, the Institute is expanding to 5 different tracks, and so there's an opportunity for the marketing people and enrollment professionals to kind of take all their learning together in these beachside chats, fireside chats last year, beachside chats this year, to really just kind of come together and talk about everything that they learned that day.
Yeah, 3E has really emphasized this, and they're wise to do so, is that really the future, the integration of enrollment and marketing it's seamless. It has to be seamless for a school to do that. And so the more that someone can bring from a team from their campus, and last year they expanded with the President's Track, which is very successful. So you have this confluence of all these minds that have all this experience that can get together away from campus and really come up with a decisive action plan and see examples and talk to others who are going through similar circumstances. So that's very valuable.
Yeah, it's super valuable. And of course, there's a keynote every morning. We're going to come back to actually your school, because one of the keynotes is Jessica Chen, who talks about presenting. I've learned so much from Jessica. A big thing is I've taken a bunch of her courses, and she's great. If you're on LinkedIn, just look up Jessica Chen. A lot of what she has to offer is great. But you've recently partnered with Jessica Chen at your school. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, and the Institute was pretty instrumental in that. It's interesting because,
Right.
like you, I had been taking some of Jessica's courses, and it was after about 3 months, then I found out that the Institute was bringing her to be the keynote speaker last year, and I thought, wow, this is great. I had already started some conversations with her.
Yeah.
But as a result of that, and what we talked about at the Institute, I'm a big proponent of helping students develop their personal brand, their skill set, and communication is as important as anything out there.
Yeah.
So we partnered with Jessica. We talked about it and said, college students can really benefit from this. And she created the Collegiate Communications Program for career success, or for student success.
Wow, that's great.
And so we're glad to be the very first partners. And we have a cohort of about 60 students from one of our unique programs that are going through it now. And each month, she helps them with a communication technique. There'll be a theme for each month: how to advocate for yourself, how to speak to your boss, how to manage your time, all these things that are critical life skills.
Yeah. Yeah. She does things from like how to make sure you have good lighting to how to project and how to ask and how to talk with your boss. It's really, she's an excellent resource. And during her keynote, your attendees are going to learn so much from her. So,
yeah,
I mean, there's so many. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I wanted to emphasize one thing, because you just touched on it, is that, folks, you have to go to the Institute, because there will be presenters, speakers, and things that you will experience that most higher education gatherings don't do. The Institute is very good about bringing in experts from outside the industry.
Yeah.
And that's really valuable, because we get stuck in our own silos too often. And this is what I find to be incredibly helpful with speakers like Jessica Chen.
Yeah, no, I agree. And, just Jessica Chen is a good reason. The keynotes are a good reason to come to the Institute. But if you were just going to talk to somebody and say, if you could distill it down, why do you think your colleagues should attend the Institute?
I think anyone involved in, whether it's enrollment or marketing, we know that higher education is changing rapidly, that student behavior is changing rapidly, and it's the old adage, the Wayne Gretzky thing, right?
Yeah,
right. He was always skate to where the puck was going, as opposed to where it was. And more than anything else, the Institute is about that. If you're looking for those big ideas, but at the same time, the real important strategic planning, then you will sit down in workshops and work with others to develop a strategic plan, an enrollment plan that doesn't sit on a shelf but is actionable. And you're going to learn from some of the best in the field from across the country that have been working on basically optimizing how you do a strategic plan. So there's going to be something for everyone.
Yeah.
Also how we can venture out in the future and what students who are our customers are looking for.
Yeah. Where we are and where we're going is really what the Institute is focused on. So, well, thank you so much for this conversation. This was great. I really, really appreciate you taking the time to talk with us today. I look forward to seeing I look forward to seeing you at the Institute, if not sooner. Um, it's always fun to chat and to talk about what's coming in the world of higher education marketing. So, thanks so much for taking the time today.
Absolutely, and everyone attend the Institute for Higher Education.
And we're going to put the link in the comments. It's going to be in the comments underneath this, the link to look at the agenda, to take a look at the fireside chats, beachside chats. You got me saying fireside chats, the beachside chats. There might be a fire too. It's June in Clearwater Beach, so probably not. But the beachside chats and it's going to be a great experience and an opportunity to advance your career. So thank you so much, Arthur. I appreciate you taking the time today, and I hope everybody has a great day.
Thank you.